Hello and welcome to another episode of the Confident Musician Show. You are tuning into 5 pro tips on how to make amazing video content. My name is Brett Cusack, aka Megalove, and I'm a musician, songwriter, music educator, and life coach. And at The Confident Musician, we help musicians to overcome self-doubt and overwhelm and create more confidence than you ever thought possible so you can make music, make a difference, and share your unique talent with the world. And now let's jump in to our 5 pro tips. And just before we do that, I want to let you know and remind you to make some noise in the comments. If something you find in this video is useful, valuable, or interesting, please let me know in the comments. And if you're watching this back on YouTube, you can also like and subscribe. And if you know somebody who would love to make amazing video content, you can flick this video across to them in a DM so they can get some amazing value out of this as well. Alrighty, my 5 pro tips on how to make amazing video content. And I just want to preface this with this is more of a strategy of how to think about making video content. I am not a professional video content creator, but I have spent probably over 12 to 13 years making video content on and off. So I'm just going to preface that with this. So any professional video content people out there or people that have been working on it for a while, you're probably going to find some interesting and valuable things in this. But I just want to preface it and let you know that this is not my professional job. I'm a life coach and I help people with the problems behind the problems. So anyway, 5 pro tips. Let us know if you are tuning in live and let us know if you're tuning in not live as well. All right, tip number 1 is to have an always on setup. So everything that you see in the background in my studio is always there. So when I'm about to create a Confident Musician Show episode, I just flick some lights on, I close my curtains because I've got some a big window in front of me on the other side of the camera. And so I make sure that all of this is set up. So we want to make sure that when we're going to create content, especially if we're creating more like a podcast or a vlog, we've already got all of our stuff set up, ready to go. And I do use most of this sort of thing for all the things that I do. So if I'm making a video clip, I've generally got these things in the background and they're already set up with the camera ready to go. Obviously, Instagram is a bit of a different vibe for those people down here that are watching on Instagram. So yeah, having it packed up and set up and all of these things, especially if you don't have somebody helping you, is a bit of a hurdle. So if you do have the luxury of having a space to set things up and keep it set up, make sure that you do. So you want to avoid the hurdle of having extra things to do. Tip number 2 is to test, trial, test, repeat, test, trial, test, repeat. I've been working on video content, as I mentioned before, for about 12 to 13 years, and I've always had cameras and I've always been playing around with it. So I don't do this professionally, but I have spent a long time, many years testing and trialing things. So just play the long-term game. It does take time, but keep at it. Tip number 3 is to keep it simple. More gear can and most often will equal more problems, especially if you're the talent and you've got to be able to present and talk to things and create all the content. If you've got more and more stuff, then you've got more and more stuff to set up and pack up and all of these things. So the question I always ask is, how can I do this with what I already have? So if you are watching this on Instagram, I basically just have my phone set up, and I'm recording the video from the front camera and the audio is straight into the phone. So there is nothing fancy, but the content I'm delivering, hopefully, is pretty good. So if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, I'm obviously using my very much nicer Sony a6400 mirrorless digital camera. And so yeah, if you want to see the difference, you can flick across to Instagram or flick across to YouTube and Facebook if you're on Instagram. Tip number 4 is to make content for your fans or music fans, not for people that you admire or people that are further along their journey. So fans don't really care what camera you have. They do care about quality content. They want to make sure you've cared about them enough to make something that's visually nice to look at. But at the end of the day, they're looking for acts of love, not acts of perfection. So they do more often than not, they care about how you make them feel rather than the production quality, because if they're not connected to it, they're probably less likely to come back. But if the production quality is not that great, but you're making something that's really valuable and useful, interesting, entertaining, humorous, and you're really connecting to them on an act of love level where you're sharing your message of love, then they're so much more likely to come back rather than if you've got a perfect thing that doesn't really connect. And tip number 5 is to get a coach or a mentor, somebody that can help you to develop these things. And I'm not a video content creating coach, but I can help you get to the level that I've got to because I've done a few things. But what I do love to do is help you to understand the problems behind the problems. So if you're procrastinating on something, Tim Ferriss always says that the task in the way of the task is the task. So if you need to learn how to master your mindset, I'm the person to go to for that, especially for creative. So if you love a link to my latest online course, which is called Confidence and Happiness Secrets, you can get it on the link below this video. There is absolutely value packed. There's about $1,800 worth of value in there, and you can get it for the cost of less than a packet of strings. I don't know how long it's going to be at that price point for, so make sure you get access right now. Alrighty, let's recap our 5 pro tips. And if you are curious about any of the equipment that I do use, I've put them at the bottom of this video. Alrighty, tip number 1 is to have your always on setup as best you can, as many parts or as many elements of your setup to be set up, ready to go, so you don't have the hurdle of having to set things up. Oh no, I've got to set that up, blah, blah, blah. So have an always on setup. Tip number 2 is to test, trial, test, repeat, and play the long-term game. It's going to take time to make high quality video content, but if you can make lots of high quality video content, as well as also reaching out to professional videographers at times, so you can learn from them as well. I've done a few high quality videos now and worked with some people with great cameras and great editing skills. And I've also worked with people on Fiverr, so I've learned a lot about what other people do. So learning how to create it yourself is also a valuable thing. So professional stuff, but also learning how to do it yourself, especially if you like doing it. If you don't like doing it, don't. Always hire a professional. Tip number 3 is to keep it simple. More gear equals more problems. The high quality question asked when you're doing something, when you're looking at all of the different things you can purchase, is how can I do this with the things that I already have? I've done a couple of videos with my iPhone 7, and at the end of the day, if you've got great lighting and great editing, you might be able to get away with actually using an iPhone camera. I think there's probably lots of high quality videos out there using, especially if you've got a later iPhone. Tip number 4 is to make content for your fans, not people that you admire or those further along your journey. Fans don't really care what camera you've got, but they do care about connecting with them and telling stories and how you make them feel. So make sure that you're focusing on the people that you're actually making content for, and at the end of the day, PS, have fun doing the process. And tip number 5 is to get a coach or mentor to guide and inspire you along your journey to help you speed up the process. It will cost you some money to invest in getting me to help you, but you can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. So many of my clients come to me and they're like, I wish I did this sooner. So if you're the type of person that feels like they might need some help with their music career, and I can help you with music lessons, songwriting and networking, collaboration events, mindset coaching, getting your business set up, and helping you maybe create some high quality video content and keeping you accountable to actually doing those things. You can book a quick 15-minute Q&A call with me where we can start to have a really high quality conversation about what you need, where you want to go, and then I can actually share a little bit more about the products and services that I offer and see if we're going to be a right fit together. There are limited spots available for these chats every week, but I do have a few spots available, so please get in as soon as possible and we can actually start having the conversation about what you would love to achieve. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching this video. If you did find anything unique, valuable, or interesting, please let me know in the comments. If you're on whatever platform, please subscribe if you found this interesting. And if you know somebody else would love to make high quality video content and they're stuck with too much gear or and they don't know where to start, please flick them across this video in a DM or tag them in it so they can check this out as well. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you are curious about what equipment that I do have, I've written out a basic list of all the details on the link below this video or in the description below this video. Thanks so much. Until next time, make music, make a difference, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.